Welcome members and officers to the hybrid meeting of Education Overview and Scrutiny Committee. This meeting is able to be viewed live by members of the press and public today. Therefore, may I welcome anyone that may be watching remotely. A recording of this meeting will be made available on the Council's webcasting and YouTube channels after the meeting is concluded, and should anyone else wish to view it. To confirm, as a Council, we welcome the use of the Welsh language within our public meetings, but I can confirm that I have not received any notifications or requests to use Welsh today. Therefore, the meeting will be conducted in English only. May I remind members to refrain from using the chat facility and instead use the raised hand icon to indicate when you wish to speak. Please, could you also keep your microphone muted when not talking, so there aren't any interruptions encountered. May I also remind members that as per the statutory guidance made under Section 4 of the Local Government Wales Measure 2011 and our formally adopted hybrid meeting policy, any member attending a meeting remotely must be able to be seen and heard by members and officers who are attending the meeting today, as well as by members of the public viewing the meeting. So can I all ask that you please use your cameras for the duration of this meeting? Moving on to the agenda, could Jade, our Democratic Services officers, confirm if we've received any apologies, please?
Thanks, Chair. I've received apologies from Councillor Simons and Mr Cunningham.
Thank you. Any other apologies from the table? No. That takes us to agenda item 2, declarations of interest. Can I ask members in alphabetical order to state whether they have any declarations of interest? Councillor Best isn't with us. Councillor Cowles.
Governor on Aberystwyth and Glenavon Heritage School, and I've got a brother at Aberystwyth.
Victoria Hawler.
Parent Governor Yscol Panteg.
Okay, Councillor Janet Jones.
Governor of Glenavon Heritage School and a grandson at Aberystwyth and Comp.
Councillor Mark Jones.
Nothing for me, thanks.
I declare that I'm a member of the Management Board of the Crew, and I have grandchildren and great-grandchildren at YGG, Blenheim Road and Coediva. Thank you. Councillor Colette Thomas.
The Governor at Nant Celyn School, and I have a grandson at Cwmbran High.
Thank you. Councillor David Thomas isn't with us, I don't think. And Councillor Watkins.
Governor at Our Lady of the Angels Roman Catholic Primary School and Cwmbran High School.
Thank you very much, all. That takes us to agenda item 3, the minutes of the meeting held on the 7th of May 2025. Just to remind members, these minutes relate to the report we received on attendance and exclusions. Members, do you approve these minutes as an accurate record, please? Thank you. Agenda item 4, the action sheet. Geraint, can you give us a quick update on the action sheet, please?
Thank you, Chair. Yeah, as you can see from the sheet, most things have been circulated now since the last meeting for the committee. There's just one outstanding item, so as soon as I get that, I'll forward that on as well. So hopefully it'll be soon.
Thank you. Are you happy with the action sheet? Are there any questions or queries? Thank you very much for that. Takes us to agenda item 5, update on recommendations. The purpose of today's meeting is for the committee to be provided with an update on our recommendations that we previously put forward as part of our scrutiny activity over the last year. I'd like to invite Geraint now to go through the report for us, please.
Thank you, Chair. So, since March 2024, the Education Overview and Scrutiny Committee has made numerous recommendations, a high proportion of which have been accepted or considered for adoption by the Executive. It's sensible to reflect on to what extent recommendations made have been embedded and acted as a catalyst for delivering service improvement. Please note any recommendations that were rejected have already been removed from this monitor. Strategic Directors, Heads of Service and I think I can remember this today. I don't think it's so strategic directors and heads of service are in attendance today for any questions on progress you may have. Also, to ensure the impact of scrutiny is properly evaluated and recommendations are not just accepted but acted upon, a summary of impact has been produced by service areas against each scrutiny item, defining what impact of progressing is seen from the committee's scrutiny activity. And this is all within Appendix 1. Please note, you're not here to re-scrutinise these items, just to determine whether you are satisfied with progress in actioning your recommendations. If you're satisfied that your recommendations have been actioned appropriately, they will be removed from further monitoring. However, if you're not satisfied with progress, they'll remain on the monitor for further updates. The updates run from March 2024 to February 2025. We haven't included updates on recommendation implementation for the last two meetings, which were in April and May, as it's too short a time period to reflect on progress, but they'll be considered in the next update report. So the updates you're here to consider are, apologies for the first one, it's quite long, EAS business plan progress update over last year, including Torvine Annex specific priorities and progress against Eston recommendation 1. There's only one recommendation within that, because that's one that you wanted to keep on from last year, so that's the only returning one from the updates last year. And then the rest are all fresh ones from the previous year of scrutiny. So the rest are Sustainable Communities for Learning, Schools Capital Maintenance Programme, Torvine School Improvement Services, and ALN Transformation. So can we now invite members to raise any questions or comments on the first set of updates?
Any comments or queries on that? Jane? Councillor Watkins?
Thank you. Yeah, I just wanted to clarify. Sorry, I'm trying to see what area it comes into. It wasn't through. On the capital maintenance programme.
We're not on that one yet, Councillor. We're on the EAS. The
Do you want to take us through one
And
at a
I'll go back till we get there.
Okay.
We'll go through.
Yeah. So the first set of updates is that one I referred to from last year. So there was just one recommendation that you wanted to bring back. So there's an update now from June. So So if you've got any questions on that, just that one recommendation there. No, happy with that one.
I think the executive member is sending out an email to us on that one to inform us of the exam results, etc.
Okay. So good. So the next set of updates. So that's the Sustainable Communities for Learning. So that starts on page 20. So have you got any questions on anything within that one?
No. Okay.
Yeah, sorry, I think it's the same question as I would have had on the other one. So the recommendation 8 on this one, the response is that it's accepted and the reasons why. Is that not the same as being action? So should it be ticked as actions, or is that ongoing? Is it in the process of being actioned, or is it?
Shall I come in there? Yes. So this relates to responsibility for the assets that have transferred to the new leisure trust. Is that right? The leisure provider.
Yes.
Yeah. So that is a piece of work that's ongoing at the moment across the property team and asset management. Obviously, Halo have now picked up the leisure provision, and they're just finalising all of the necessary paperwork to make sure people are clear on who should be doing what and when.
Thank you.
And I ask a question, will that be fed back to this committee then?
I can certainly make sure you get that information from them, yes. It's something that I'm tracking anyway, because we've obviously got an interest from an operational perspective in terms of the two schools where we've got leisure facilities on site.
So in terms of, obviously you've got 8 recommendations there regarding Sustainable Communities for Learning. So do you want to keep recommendation 8, just that one for the next update, so you can receive a further update?
Yes. Everybody happy with that? Because obviously Halo is the new provider of the Leisure Trust, and we've got some joint provisions with schools. Yeah. Okay.
Okay. So then, the next one then we've got is Schools Capital Maintenance Programme. So any questions on any of those updates?
Any questions? No. Jane?
Thank you. So, yeah, I guess the same applies, because there's a couple here that are, or in fact, at least 3 that are being actioned. So are those all going to come back to us?
Just because something is being actioned, it doesn't mean that it necessarily has to stay on the monitor. It depends on whether, as a committee, you're comfortable with the updates you've received. If there's anything specific that you feel should stay on. So yes, and similarly, there could be something that comes under not yet actioned, but it may be something that is unable to ever be actioned, and obviously you wouldn't keep that on there.
Yeah.
So yeah, so it's basically just whether you're comfortable as a committee with the updates you've received, or if there's anything you feel should stay on there for a further update.
Okay. I'd also like to offer it to the officers as well, if there's something that you particularly need to stay on there and for us to observe or scrutinise, that would be helpful. Right. And the next one, Geraint, please. Are we happy with that one? Right, thank you.
Okay, the next one then is Torvine School Improvement Services, and I'm just going to scroll down to the page. So that's page 26 that starts on.
Yeah. Any questions or queries on that? Are we all happy with those?
Okay, and the final one on this report then, we've got the ALN transformation, and that starts on page 30.
Any comments on that? I picked up one on the west, did we? Have we passed that one?
Yeah, I think it was on, was it on this one?
Yeah, I think so. It was about interpretation of the literature within schools, I think. EAS.
That was the previous one,
Oh,
Chair. That was
sorry.
I think that's recommendation 5 on the school improvement. Yeah, recommendation 5, page 28. That's sorry,
Thanks, there you go. That's it. Yeah. So, what my point is, I thought it was a literal interpretation. What the committee was trying to say was the literal interpretation of some of the literature within our schools isn't correct reading for our youngsters. Whereas I think the continuing comment was that the interpretation, they've got excellent interpreters. We weren't complaining about the interpreters. We were saying that if you directly interpret Welsh to English, sometimes it doesn't make sense.
Yeah, the translation doesn't.
Yeah. So I don't know whether that was caught in that follow-up or not. So, Andrew.
Yeah, morning everyone. That's how we interpreted it. So, yeah, it's.
The EAS interpretation that they've got excellent interpreting.
Yes. Yeah.
No follow-up. So.
No, we're with you. So there's the ongoing issue about Welsh language resources. As you say, there's not a direct translate in all cases. Yeah.
That's all right, Chair. So the last set, obviously, the ALN transformation, page 30 onwards. Were there any questions on that? If not, are you happy to remove that from monitor?
Yeah.
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 Okay.
I think ALN is a big thing. I think it needs to remain.
That's that report.
Yeah. Okay. Can I offer the officers anything that we picked up on that? Anything on those recommendations? No comment. Thank you very much. Are they all accepted then?
Yeah.
Yeah. Thank you very much. So they're happy for the committee's annual monitor. That takes us to agenda item 6, the update on external recommendations report. The purpose of this item is for the committee to be provided with an update on the progress made towards recommendations previously put forward by our external auditors. Can I invite Geraint to go through this report, please?
Sorry, me again. Members, agenda item 6 is the update report setting out progress against adopted action plans. The Council's assurance processes require each relevant Overview and Scrutiny Committee to receive an annual progress update against proposals for improvement and recommendations received from our external auditors. Following scrutiny, recommendations and other comments made by you as a committee relating to these updates will then be reported back to the Governance and Audit Committee to fulfil those assurance purposes. We ask that as a committee you ensure you are satisfied that appropriate progress has been made towards external regulators' proposals for improvement, and if not, to challenge the officers present as to the reasons for insufficient progress. Equally, should you decide appropriate progress has been made and all proposals actioned, as a committee you could agree to remove the item from further annual monitoring. Can I please assure members, though, that removal of any of the referrals from this annual monitoring report will not exclude these issues from further scrutiny by you as a committee, should they arise as priority items in your visioning session? Can I remind members that you're not here to scrutinise the items themselves, only to focus on the updates on action in the recommendations. There are 2 sets of updates contained within the appendix, which are education services in Torvine And how are healthcare, education and children's services supporting the mental health needs of children and young people in Wales? With regards to the second set of updates, I think most of you sit on the Children and Families Committee. Recommendations 1 to 11 were relevant for that, which obviously you saw and were happy with the updates yesterday. Is only recommendation 21 for this committee to consider. This is just the one update, so the final update on that one. So yeah, can we have any questions and comments on the first set of updates? So that's the education services in Torfaen Iestyn updates.
Thanks. Any comments? Are we happy? No comments? Can I ask committee members to confirm that they are happy to remove the items and confirm whether they should remain on the committee's annual monitor? You happy? Agreement? Those online? Yeah? Okay, thank you.
Yeah, Chair, and then obviously, yeah, so that was the estimate, and then so the second set of updates. So yeah, basically, are you happy with the final update? So page 56, the very last thing on there, recommendation 21.
Are you happy with that? Claire, have you got anything to add to the airline recommendations?
The only update that perhaps isn't on there because it's a very recent addition is that the Learning Resource Base Funding Formula is being reviewed and accepted as part of the consultation.
Okay. Right, thanks. Okay. Any comments? Okay. So we're happy with that? That takes us... Apologies. That takes us to agenda item 7, the date of the next meeting. The next formal meeting will be held directly after this. No. The next formal meeting will be held on the 16th of October 2025. Following on from this meeting today, the committee has an informal session to discuss and agree their work programme for the year ahead. Can I remind members attending on Teams to stay online for the informal session once this meeting is concluded? Thank you. Can I thank members and officers for their contribution and the attendance to the meeting today, and I close the first meeting. Thank you very much.